Back in Omochukwu, Nena stayed in her father's old compound, a place covered in dust and memories. Her belly grew larger, but no signs of labor came. Month after month passed. Year after year crept by. The village women whispered behind her back. Is she truly pregnant? Maybe it's punishment. That girl used to be so proud. Nena became a shadow, tired, lonely, broken. She ate from her garden, fetched water herself, and spoke to no one. One cloudy morning, she felt so weak that she barely made it down the small hill leading to the village stream. Her legs trembled, her eyes dimmed, and then she fell flat on the dusty road, belly first. Tears burst from her soul. In a quiet small village, from the earliest days, lived two little girls, Nena and Chioma. Nena and Chioma were born weeks apart. They grew up as though they were two halves of the same soul. They were inseparable. They wore matching dresses sewn by Mamayu, the tailor. They shared mangoes plucked from the trees, and they told stories under the shade of the big Udala tree, where the earth was cool and welcoming. At the marketplace, they would argue and laugh. I will buy the biggest fish head when I grow up. Chioma would boast, puffing up like a small turkey. Tofia. I will buy the whole fish seller's table. Nena countered, flipping her tiny hand dramatically. Mama, the fish seller, would shout, you these two witches. If you don't leave my stall, I will use pepper to wash your tongues. But the girls only laughed harder, running away in a cloud of dust and giggles. In the mornings, they walked to school hand in hand, singing made-up songs. And on cold evenings, they curled under old wrappers, whispering dreams into each other's ears. One day, we will both wear big shoes and walk like city women, Nena would say. And we will eat chicken every Sunday, Chioma would add, licking her lips dramatically. Nena was blessed with extraordinary beauty, her skin glowed like fresh palm oil, her eyes sparkled, and her smile could stop a fight. Everywhere she went, villagers admired her. See, is she fine, market women would say. God must have used special clay to mold this one, old men would whisper. Chioma didn't mind. She laughed along, proud to walk beside her beautiful friend. But Chioma's mother? She boiled in silence. Why is it not my daughter they praise? Why always Nena? When it came time for secondary school, both girls gained admission into Sacred Heart Girls' College. It was their first time leaving home, and fear and excitement danced inside them. Dragging their old tin boxes into the noisy dormitory, they chose bunk beds side by side. Nena climbed to the top bunk while Chioma took the bottom. At night, they whispered stories across the room. Do you think we will be rich one day? Chioma would ask. More than rich, Nena would whisper. We will be queens. They defended each other from bullies, shared their food during fasting days, and even cried into each other's arms when homesickness attacked like a sudden fever. When school holidays came, they returned to Omochukwu, parading their tiny suitcases like celebrities. Their dreams were growing wings. After graduation, they both applied to university. Their dreams now had specific names. Chioma dreamed of becoming a banker, Nena, a great lawyer. They filled out forms with trembling hands, shared prayers at night, and waited for the letters that would change their lives. The results arrived with drums and dances. Chioma's name was read aloud at the village square. She had been accepted. The entire village celebrated. Palm wine flowed, drums beat, old women ululated with joy. But Nena's name was not on the list. There was no letter for her, no cheers, only silence. She smiled bravely when Chioma hugged her tightly. Don't cry, Nen. You'll get yours too, Chioma whispered. I am happy for you, Nena replied, her voice trembling. That night, under the silent stars, Nena wept bitter tears into her pillow. What did I do wrong? She whispered to the night. But unknown to her, far away in a dark corner, whispers of betrayal were already dancing. A secret so terrible it could destroy everything. What she didn't know was that Chioma's mother had gone behind her back, bribing an official and removing Nena's name. She has shined enough. Now it's my daughter's turn, she spat. Chioma left for the city, head high, dreams higher. Nena stayed behind, her heart torn but her spirit unbroken. She decided to learn tailoring, sewing dreams into fabric as she stitched and stitched. Months later, Chioma invited her to visit the university campus. Nena arrived, her simple beauty shining like a hidden gem. Her smile lit up the surroundings. Even the students turned to stare. That very day, Obina, a young kind-hearted boy, walked up shyly. "Your beauty lights up this place," he said, blushing. Nena laughed, a sound like water flowing over smooth stones. Obina asked for her number. But from the shadows, Chioma watched, and the seed of jealousy grew into a wicked vine. That night, Chioma whispered lies into Obina's ears. "Be careful. She's not what she seems." Soon, the boy grew distant. The warmth disappeared. Nena didn't know why, but Chioma did, and her heart was already darkening with secrets. Years passed. Chioma finished her course, but life outside the university was cruel. No good job came. No bright city dreams unfolded. She returned to Omochuku, bitter and broken. Meanwhile, Nena's small tailoring shop blossomed, bright colors, beautiful dresses, and happy customers filled her life. One afternoon, Chioma visited Nena's shop, smiling tightly. "You have done well," she said, forcing the words. Despite the distance, Nena welcomed Chioma with love. "Come work with me. Let's build something beautiful together." Chioma nodded, but inside, she wrestled with envy. Her mother's voice echoed. "Don't let her shine over you again." That night, Chioma's mother turned to her and whispered lies. "Nena pretends to love you, but can't you see? She wants everything for herself. Shine your eyes, my daughter. We must end her light." Chioma slowly began to change. Together, they went to a feared native doctor. Inside his hut of bones and herbs, he handed them a small vial. "Drop this in her drink. Her beauty, her success, will fade like smoke." Chioma's hands trembled, but she agreed. She invited Nena to a quiet birthday celebration. "Just us. Small and special," she said sweetly. Nena trusted her friend. How could she not? She arrived, but something was off, no guests, no music. "Where's everyone?" Nena asked. "You're the special guest," Chioma said with a smile. They gave her a drink. What Nena didn't know was that it had been poisoned. She drank the offered cup without a second thought. Weeks later, strange things began to happen, but not to Nena. It was Chioma who began to suffer. Her stomach swelled unnaturally. She wasn't pregnant, but her body changed. Pain followed. Shame followed. "What is happening to me?" she cried. Each day, it grew larger, heavier. She could barely walk. Villagers began to whisper. "Chioma, the water drum. Chioma, the basket of secrets. She's pregnant with demons." Women laughed behind their wrappers. Children pointed at her in the streets. She would come outside in the evenings, sitting on her front step, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Why me?" she would cry. "Why me?" Every prayer, every herbal remedy failed. Desperation drove Chioma and her mother back to the native doctor, but his hut was abandoned. He was dead. No one knew how. In panic, Chioma's mother traveled far to seek another herbalist. There, a humble old man examined Chioma and shook his head gravely. "The curse backfired. The one you wanted to destroy is protected. Until you confess, you will not be free. And there is more." He leaned closer. "You and the girl you tried to destroy, you are twins, bound by spirit and blood. She was given to another mother by the river goddess. Chioma's mother fell to the ground, wailing. The sins of jealousy and lies were crumbling everything they had built. Days later, tragedy struck. Chioma's mother met a sudden death in a road accident. Alone, shamed, broken, Chioma wept endlessly. One lonely night, Chioma sent a message to Nena. When Nena arrived, she saw her childhood friend, the one who once raced her down dusty roads, now bent and broken. Through bitter tears, Chioma confessed everything. "I'm sorry. My mother stopped your admission. We poisoned your drink. I believed her lies. I was jealous. We hurt you. We tried to destroy you. My mother," she broke down. Nena stood in silence and wept. Pain, betrayal, memories of laughter and shared dreams, all twisted together. But after a long silence, she held Chioma's hands. "I forgive you, Chioma. You were my friend before the lies. I forgive you. Let's start again." Chioma wept harder, grasping Nena's hands like a lifeline. That night, something miraculous happened. As forgiveness bloomed between them, Chioma's swollen belly began to shrink. The heavy burden lifted. The next morning, the swollen belly reduced drastically. Healing had begun. Time passed. Nena's shop became the pride of Omochuku. She grew in success and kindness. Obina, the boy from the university, returned, apologizing for his foolishness. With time, he asked Nena to marry him. Meanwhile, Chioma, now wiser and humbler, opened a small poultry business. She worked hard, earning back the respect of the villagers. The two sisters, once torn apart by lies, now stood side by side again, proof that love, forgiveness, and fate are stronger than any darkness. As the golden sun set over Omochuku, the whispers of their story danced on the evening breeze, telling all who listen that even broken things can be made whole again. A year later in Omochuku. The winds in Omochuku changed after that fateful night of forgiveness. The Udala trees bore fruit twice in one season, and the village elders said it was a sign, that the gods were pleased, that the land had been cleansed of something dark and heavy. Adana and Neka became symbols. Not just of reconciliation, but of redemption. Children sang songs about them. Women told their story in hushed voices as they braided hair or stirred pots over smoky fires. Men nodded in respect when they passed. But peace, like any living thing, must be nurtured. One moonless night, Adana sat outside her shop under the stars, watching the lanterns flicker along the path. Her tailoring business had grown so much that she now had 3 apprentices, and people traveled from neighboring villages just to have her sew their wedding gowns and ceremonial wrappers. Despite her success, a quiet ache remained. She missed her father. She missed the man who once lifted her onto his shoulders, who told her, "You will lead women one day." He died long ago, never knowing the storm his daughter would weather. She whispered into the dark. "I hope you see me now. I hope I've made you proud." That same night, Neka had a dream. In it, 2 little girls in matching dresses ran through a garden of light. Laughter rang out like bells. The garden shimmered, and from the center, a woman rose, tall, cloaked in white, her feet not touching the ground. "You are one spirit in 2 vessels," the woman said. "To hurt her is to hurt yourself. Now that truth has been restored, protect one another." When Neka awoke, she wept, not in sorrow, but in deep peace. She rushed to Adana's home and told her everything. Adana embraced her, and together they decided to honor the truth in the dream. They built a small shrine beneath the Udala tree, not to worship, but to remember. A simple clay pot stood there, surrounded by carvings of twin girls holding hands. They called it Ifenwanyi, the woman's light. Every year, on the anniversary of their reconciliation, they hosted a gathering for women in the village. Widows, mothers, daughters, wives, women who had been broken, betrayed, or forgotten, came with their stories. Around a fire, they would sing, cook, and speak truths too heavy to carry alone. And as the fire crackled into the night, healing began to spread beyond Neka and Adana. Michael and Adana's union. Months after Michael returned, he and Adana were married in a celebration that shook the whole village. Drums echoed through the hills, palm wine flowed like rivers, and dancers performed under the stars. But the most touching moment was when Neka stood to give her toast. With trembling hands, she raised her calabash. To my sister by fate, by soul, and now by choice. You taught me that light is not a competition. And that to lift one woman is to lift generations. May your union be filled with grace. Tears flowed freely. Legacy and light. Years passed. Adana had a daughter whom she named Chimamanda, my God will not fail. Neka became her godmother. Their bond, once torn by envy, was now stronger than blood. Together, they started a foundation for girls in Omochukwu, offering scholarships, mentoring, and skill training. The motto was carved in stone outside the building. Out of darkness, we rise. Together. And when the wind rustled the Udala leaves at dusk, it carried the legacy of two little girls who once shared mangoes and dreams, whose love had been tested, but not broken. And so, the story of Adana and Neka lived on, not just as a tale of betrayal and forgiveness, but as a living river, nourishing the soul of Omochukwu for generations to come.